Chablis wine, how I define Chablis wine, that is a good question. I think first I would say that is really a wine which is very alive, with a fantastic energy, and which can be appreciated by a lot of people, and it expresses the subsoil, the climate, and that is absolutely unique. The impression of pleasure, enjoyable, freshness, purity is really unique because of the subsoil of Chablis. The success of Chablis outside France, it's probably coming from the cultural origin, especially because the countries who are the oldest customer of Chablis are from the north of Europe and Canada and United States and Japan, and they appreciate a lot the fish and seafood. This kind of food is perfect with Chablis. So it was absolutely obvious that they decide to import a lot of Chablis. And then I think there is something which is important as well, that very early, 50 years ago around, the Chablis wine growers decided to travel everywhere over the world, and sometimes without any knowledge of English. And I think that is probably one of the most important things to explain the success of Chablis over the world. We don't talk about Chablis today as 20 years ago because a lot of things changed, and especially the knowledge. The enology developed a lot our knowledge in the last 20 years about a lot of things, not only in the vinification, but about the vineyard, about the subsoil, about a lot of things which are the climate as well, which are absolutely important to understand Chablis. And naturally we can manage much better the vinification now, and we can speak more about for example, the evolution of the climate. We can speak more about the composition of our soil and subsoil, because we know really the story of our subsoil. And I think really that is the big difference with what we talked in the past. If I want to choose two of my favorite climats in the Premier Cru, I would choose the Chablis Premier Cru Côte de l'Éché and the Chablis Premier Cru Fourchaume, because they are really the opposite. One of them, the Côte de l'Éché, is located on the left bank of the river, facing southeast, and the slope is very, very steep, and it gives a wine, a Chablis Premier Cru, which is very mineral, typical of the subsoil of Chablis, that is really for the purists who love the minerality of Chablis. And it is naturally friendly, but it is not really accessible for anybody. That is really the pure spirit of Chablis. And Fourchaume, Premier Cru Fourchaume, is on the right bank, facing southwest. So that is really the opposite in terms of location. The slope is very tender, very easy to walk, and we have really a warm temperature, and it gives a wine which is absolutely nice, floral, elegant, but always very round and seducing. I would say probably the most important thing to say is seducing, to give a good definition of this Premier Cru. To the audience of sommelier, I would say, please, the Chablis naturally is a fantastic wine, but that is not only for the prestigious occasion. You can propose Chablis for any simple occasion, for any public who is even if the public is not knowledge, even if the public is very young, and that is a good occasion to discover a wine which can be very easy to drink pleasant, especially Petit Chablis and Chablis, and you can really enjoy for any simple party, birthday party, any occasion. And so please don't forget that. That is not only reserved for the prestigious occasion. We can add as well something which is important is Chablis is really a wine which is absolutely easy to pair. It can match with a lot of food, naturally fish and seafood, but the white meat and all the nice poultry, for example, with mushroom and cream, that is absolutely delicious with the Chablis Premier Cru, Premier Cru Montmain, for example. As anecdote, I could tell you something which is very old when I was child, so I'm not very young, so you can imagine. And I was with my father in the vineyard, and I asked him, please, Dad, could you tell me how I can recognize the minerality? Because everybody speaks about minerality, but I cannot understand how I can find it. And he told me, okay, you take a piece of stone in the vineyard directly, and you put your tongue direct on the stone, and you will understand what is minerality.